A good movie needs an exciting beginning to get you hooked, a good middle, and an ending that keeps the movie on your mind long after you leave the theater. Some films had incredible, shocking endings that get people talking, like The Sixth Sense, but sometimes a film leaves you questioning what really happens in the story after the credits roll. Well, in this video, we're taking a look at 17 confusing movie endings and breaking them down for you. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video to hear about movies like Inception and Interstellar. Factsverse presents Confusing Movie Endings Explained. 17 movies solved. If you're a fan of movie plot twists, click the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. Birdman. This 2014 movie is confusing because they never reveal whether Michael Keaton's character actually had superpowers or if they were in his mind. At the end of the movie, Michael's character jumps through a window, most likely to his death. His daughter, played by Emma Stone, runs to the window and looks down, then up in amazement. Did he fly away? Were his superpowers real? His expression could be due to her deep disturbance, but he left it up to the audience to make their own interpretation. We'll never know what his daughter actually saw. Donnie Darko. The charm of this movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, is that it made very little sense. A terrifying-looking bunny torments Jake's character for several weeks. In the end, he sacrifices himself to save the world from some type of parallel universe. The mystery of the different universes and the purpose of the bunny are never explained. Donnie gets his superhero ending, which is good, but the rest is never explained. Life of Pi. Life of Pi follows a boy adrift on a lifeboat after a shipwreck. The only company he has is a tiger. After an epic voyage, the boy, the tiger, and the other animals finally reach land. The boy tells the authorities his story. He tells a much darker story with his human relatives as the animals. Pi says it doesn't matter which story is true because the outcome would be the same either way. The audience is allowed to believe what they want to believe. Arrival. Amy Adams plays a linguist attempting to communicate with aliens who are visiting Earth. Her character, Louise, has flashbacks of giving birth to a daughter who dies in adolescence. In the end, the audience finds out that these weren't flashbacks and instead were flash forwards. Louise went on to have a daughter with full knowledge of what will happen in the future. Louise's understanding of the aliens' language allows her to experience time non-linearly, which the audience can do as well. Fight Club.
Welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
The ending of Fight Club is one of the most memorable conclusions in movie history. Edward Norton's character is pursued continuously by Brad Pitt's character, Tyler. His criminal antics start taking over his life, and in the end, you find out that Tyler is Edward's character's alter ego, and he has a split personality. It was a shocking ending, and it was done so that Edward's character could challenge the power of consumerism in modern America while expressing his frustration over it. American Psycho. American Psycho received rave reviews from the critics and audience and has a cult following. In the film, Christian Bale's character, Patrick, goes on a killing spree. Later, he confesses to all the murders in a phone conversation. His confession isn't even taken seriously, and at the end, the audience is left wondering if he really committed the murders or if they were all in his head. Either way, Patrick was a really disturbed character. Memento. Memento starts at the end and works its way backward. It stars Guy Pearce, whose character is trying to solve his wife's murder, even though he's suffering from amnesia. At the same time, he's investigating another amnesiac named Sammy Jenkins, who was accused of murdering his own wife. In the end, Guy is Sammy. He invented Sammy to help him cope with murdering his own wife. The Machinist. This film stars Christian Bale, who plays Trevor Resnick. He's an insomniac who's being pursued by a mysterious figure named Ivan. Ivan takes over Trevor's life and starts to become a threat to his loved ones. In the end, it's revealed that Trevor and Ivan are the same person. Trevor's new girlfriend and her son are figments of his imagination. It turns out Trevor went into a dissociative state ever since he killed a young boy in a hit-and-run accident and was not able to deal with the guilt. The Shining. Jack Nicholson plays Jack Torrance, who agrees to manage an old haunted hotel for the winter. The previous manager killed his own wife. The hotel makes Jack crazy, and he attempted to murder his family before killing himself. In the end, the audience sees an old picture of the hotel with the original owner. It's Jack Torrance. Was he repeating history? Was he hallucinating? Or was he a ghost the whole time? We'll never know.
Here's Johnny!
Blade Runner. This film stars Harrison Ford as a bounty hunter who chases down humanoid robots who are a threat to humanity. In the end, Harrison's character receives an origami unicorn, which is something that has appeared in his dreams, but he never told anyone. His dreams suggest that he may have been a replicant himself. The end of the movie is thought-provoking, and it gives you a fascinating look at what it is to be human. No Country for Old Men. This movie is more than an action western movie. It also gives you a more in-depth look into the reality of the human condition. In the end, there is a bleak monologue by Tommy Lee Jones's character. At this point, he's a retired sheriff. These could have been the words of a rambling old man, or they could carry a deeper message. Jones says that the ending is a contemplation on the idea of hope. The Matrix Revolutions.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you.
When the Matrix trilogy began, it was the story of man versus machine. Over time, the trilogy had its own theme. In the final film, the story shifted to an existential and religious battle. Keanu Reeves' character, Neo, sacrifices himself so that mankind and the robots can work together. This is a massive shift from the original. The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke plays a wrestler named Randy Robinson, who loves wrestling more than life itself. Due to his declining health, he's told if he keeps wrestling, he'll die. Randy is so devoted to wrestling that he gets in the ring anyway. The final scene shows Randy jumping off the top ropes, and then it cuts to the credits. Randy's fate is open to interpretation. Vanilla Sky. In Vanilla Sky, Tom Cruise's character, David Ames, is horribly disfigured in an accident that an obsessed ex caused. He sinks into a deep depression and turns it all around after recovering from his injuries and falling in love with Penelope Cruz's character. When he starts having flashes of his old life, you find out that he chose to enter a lucid dream and his new life isn't real. In the end, he decides to go back to his real life and he jumps off a building. Interstellar. The end of this movie left the audience confused. Matthew McConaughey's character enters a black hole, which allows him to cross into a fourth dimension. He travels into the past, back to his adult daughter's childhood. Together, father and daughter solve the gravity equation which would save mankind. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, a scientist, says that it's possible for a black hole to be the gateway to time travel. We don't know anything about them, so it isn't unrealistic to tell this story. Inception. This is another Leonardo DiCaprio movie that had an ending that left audiences wondering. After traveling through his own subconscious, his character is reunited with his family. The audience doesn't know whether he's in the real world or not. He uses a spinning top to help him figure out if he's in reality or not. If the top keeps spinning, he's in a dream world. If it falls, it's reality. Unfortunately, the movie ends before we see what happens with the top. We never really know where Leonardo's character is at the end of the film. Well, that's the end of our list. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you like when movies leave you hanging, or would you rather them wrap up the story before the credits? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to Factsverse for more great videos.